Hey guys, it's Rachel here. Welcome back to another video. And if this is your first time seeing my channel, welcome to my channel. I'm Rachel. And in this video, I don't even want to waste any time. If you know anything about Sega, or if you're a gaming fan, June 3rd was the 60th anniversary of Sega, meaning Sega Genesis, Dreamcast, Sonic, Phantasy Star, like everything, basically all things Sega. And 60 years later, they have one of the greatest legacies ever, I would agree, in terms of gaming consoles, games, and just overall like hallmarks of gaming from Sega alone. I mean, it's incomparable. To this day, Sega's still standing strong with all the games that they have out. And I wanted to give you guys a list of some of my favorite Sega games that I've played, that have came out, that I even still play to this day. So before I get into that, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. I post videos twice a week, Friday and Sunday on my channel. Give this video a like and comment down below some of your favorite Sega games and tell me some of your favorites, because like Sega's amazing. So let's get straight into the video. So the first Sega game that I wanted to talk about that I loved playing as a child, even today, is Jet Set Radio. Now that game is by far the most illest, sickest, most innovative, creative game that I think Sega's came out with. It's just a bomb game. Basically the premise of the game is it's a mixture of like heavily influenced by Tokyo, Japan, hip-hop and graffiti, and also rollerblading or skating. Basically, gangs are having like a graffiti war all across Tokyo, Japan, and your job as and you play as the GGs, which are all a group of graffiti skaters who are all part of this gang called the GGs that spray paint their paint across the town to basically to establish dominance and coolness and swag, and like we own this basically. And it's owned by the great Professor K, who's this black DJ who plays music, hip-hop music, with his crazy hair, big lips, cool shades. And favorite skaters were Beat, Yo-Yo, Cube, Graham, Piranha, and Gum were some of my favorites. There's a bunch of skaters you can choose from based on your own personal style and preference, but I recommend this game to everyone because like the graffiti art was sick. They have ones from small graffiti to medium graffiti to large graffiti. You can customize it and make your own graffiti if you choose to. The music was by far my favorite. Even to this day, like the music still slaps. And there's two games of it out. The first one, Jet Grind Radio, and then the second one, Jet Set Radio. It was by far sick. Really great game. So fun. I recommend this game to everyone, but it's one of my favorites, and I'm glad Sega came out with it. Second on my list is Sonic. Sonic is like the biggest Sega character of all time. Like he's basically the mascot for Sega. It's all Sonic. I can't pick just one Sonic game because I loved all of them, so I just wanted to shout out Sonic in general. Some of my earliest favorite Sonic games that I grew up with that made me fall in love with Sonic was Sonic Adventure. That will always be like my favorite one that I reference. It's like my old time favorite. And then it's Sonic 2 Battle, Sonic Heroes, Sonic the Hedgehog 1, 2, 3, Sonic and Knuckles. I really enjoy Sonic Generations. I also really enjoyed Sonic Colors and Sonic Mania that came out for Switch, which I think is super great. But yeah, Sonic, one of my all-time favorites. If you don't know anything about Sega, you recognize Sonic. Sonic is like the biggest Sega character of all time. So Sonic is one of the best games I recommend to everybody, whether you're old or young. Anyone can get into Sonic, it's not that hard. Third on my list is Phantasy Star Episode 1 and 2. I grew up playing those games when I was about like 8 or 9 with my brothers. We just played on Xbox or GameCube. And it's just a great RPG, fantasy, action game. Basically, you play as this hunter who is assigned by the principal, I forgot his name, but he wants you to find Rico, this missing hunter. And basically you go through different stages like the forest, the caves, the mines, and the ruins through episode 1 to find out where Rico is. And then episode 2, you go through space and different areas to, fulfill your mission. But the game is fire. You basically create your own hunter. You get to choose between hunter, ranger, or force, and create your person however you want to. And depending on who you choose, that's basically your abilities. I love Phantasy Star, and they're coming out with Phantasy Star 2 now. So I think that one's coming out for Xbox if it's not already out now. But it's like a more enhanced version of the game, and I think it's pretty cool. So man, love Phantasy Star. Fourth on my list is Shenmue 1, 2, and 3. I played all three. The legacy and the whole series of the game is absolute bomb. Basically, you're playing as Ryo, whose father was killed by ND, who was seeking revenge for his death of his father. So basically, Ryo is on a quest to find Lan D and take revenge for the death of his father and figure out why he killed his father, and etc, etc. So yeah, I played 1, 2, and 3. The recent one is the third one that came out for PS4, and I really enjoyed it. It kept the same base of the game with, you know, Ryo exploring China and Japan, being able to interact with people, his martial arts, you get to level up your martial arts. Even like this, the button sequence when like it would go to like a battle break and you could press X or Y or circle and it would do this, cut into this cute fight scene that he would do. And one of the things I enjoy most about the games are the people he meets. So one of my favorite all-time people he meets is Ren. I've had kind of like a love-hate relationship with Ren. I don't really enjoy his, like, I like him, but it's just hard to like side with him sometimes because he kind of looks out for himself. But I enjoyed it. The second one is by far my favorite, just because of the overall story. I thought was a little more full and better and more fun. The third one was really good. I enjoyed it. I just felt the story was short. You could get through the game in like 3 days, but they put so much into it, like fishing, gambling, side quests, mini games, like, you know, the Shenmue arcade. So there's so much to do in the third one, even though the actual story is short. But I enjoy Shenmue. I know a bunch of Shenmue fans out there love the game. It is super, super fun. I recommend Shenmue to anyone who's looking for a new RPG to get into. Play 1, 2, and 3. They have it out, all of them on PS4. You can play 1 and 2 and then the third one. So go get your hands on it. It's a really good game. Fifth on my list is an old school game. It's called Space Channel 5. And it's like this dance rhythm game, basically. I don't know what I'm doing with my hands. It's this rhythm game. You're playing as Ulala, who's this female reporter from space with pink hair, really short skirts. Basically, she goes through as a news reporter, and she like travels to like each reporter, and she like dances to the beat, like shoot, shoot, shoot. I don't know how to explain it, but she basically dances through each stage with music, defeats each boss by like out dancing them basically. But it's really, it's one of those games, it's just fun to play and get into. But it's one of those games that, you know, if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. But I really enjoy it. 6 on my list is an old school game. It's called Dynamite Headdy. That game came out for Sega Genesis. I don't think they made a second one. I can't recall if they did. But basically, you're playing as Headdy, who is trying to save the princess, I think. I think he's trying to rescue somebody. I don't remember the premise of the game, but I think he's trying to rescue somebody. But basically, he's fighting this cat who's like the big evil person in the game, and Headdy can basically change the properties of his head to be metal or like spiky, or, you know, make him invisible or fly. Basically, like his head can change into many different forms, so he can like, it can help him fight or be really quick, or like enhance his speed, or make him really strong. It just depends. But it's one of those older games I wish would come back, but I really enjoyed Headdy. It's one of those old school retro games that I really enjoyed playing. It's one of my childhood favorite games. Also, another game I wanted to mention was Vector Man. I don't know if you guys remember Vector Man. That was an older game. Basically, you're playing as this alien, this green alien who can use his body to shoot, and he can basically shoot with his body and attack with his body. I don't remember the premise of the game. I think you're traveling through these different stages to defeat the boss. I don't remember the premise, but I remember loving playing this game on my computer. It came out for like the computer at the time. I used to play this game all the time. Coolest games ever. Oh my god, I really enjoyed Vector, man. It was one of the greatest games ever. I wish that one would come back. Next on my list is Outrun. Outrun is one of those arcade game that is also out for consoles, but I usually play it on the arcade machine. That's how I first played it. I just really enjoyed the game. Something about this driving in a car with the girl in the passenger seat and just cruising through each stage trying to beat the time and get to the finish line. I can never get to the finish line. I think I can only get past like the second or third town before I ran out of time and like it was over. But yeah, I really enjoyed Outrun. One of those coolest racing games ever. I'm not a racing game person. It's rare if I ever play a racing game unless it's Mario Kart. But Outrun is one of my favorites that I loved playing as a kid. One of my all-time favorites. Ugh, even today people still talk about this game and it's so fun. So fun. Last on my list is Crazy Taxi. That game, it's not just a racing game, but I mean it is, but like you're not racing against anybody. It's just kind of like you're a taxi driver. You get to play one of 4 different taxi cab drivers. I usually picked Axel or Gina. And the whole point of the game is you are supposed to pick up as many passengers as you can and get them to their assigned destination under a time limit. So you can set your time to 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or you can just do arcade mode where you just pick up as many people as you can and have to get them to where they want to be under like a set limit. But you can drive as crazy as you want to, drive on these ramps to increase your speed. You get to run over people, you get to run over like people on the street. You don't have to be polite when you drive, but you get to reverse, you get to speed up, and it's super fun. Basically you drive as crazy as you want so you get these people to their destination as much as you need to, and it's so much fun. I swear to God, like you can literally waste so much time playing that game just trying to beat the racer. And it's not beat the racer, but just beat your time and get these people to as much as possible. So the crazier you drive, the more tips you get from these people, and the more time you get and the highest reward you get. Great game. And that is a list of Sega games I love. Obviously, Sega made many different more games. I want you guys to tell me, sound out below some of the Sega games you enjoyed playing, which you really liked. And if you play any of the games that I listed below. I know I listed a shit ton of games, but over the 60 years that Sega's been alive, they put out so much. So I really enjoy Sega so much. So thank you, Sega, for 60 years of gaming. I love you, I appreciate you. And that's the end of the video. Thanks if you made it this far. I really went off. I went off so long. If you made it this far, thank you so much. You are an amazing person. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Give this video a like. Follow me down on my social media down below if you want to keep up with me. And I post videos every Friday and Sunday on my channel. If I miss Friday, I'll post on Saturday. That's usually how it goes. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.